All right, so we have Michael Stein, CTE Innovation Systems Coordinator from Berks Career and Technology Center. Welcome.
Well, good morning. I was asked to come down and present on some of the things that we are doing in our school in bringing and adopting AI into the educational setting. And just wanted to share kind of our journey in shaping how we prepare students, because we are a career center, and also that bringing this AI into our system is kind of shifting a lot of fundamental ways in which we do some of the work we do within our classrooms. So just in case if you're interested, you can get access to the materials here that I'm presenting today if you use the QR code here that you will find also in the handout. But my journey here in this is that my role is to investigate and look at how we can create different types of efficiencies and introduce artificial intelligence into our career center to create better learning outcomes, but also to make our systems work more efficiently and allow the teachers, instructors, and so forth to also have the ability to expedite their work and become a little more efficient in what they have to deal with. Because as the instructors and the teachers in our schools, one of the largest things, obviously, that takes up a lot of time and keeps them from concentrating on what's going on with student work is preparing curriculum and doing things. Because in our environment, the subject matter experts, the instructors, are the curriculum. They bring their experiences in off the street where they work, and they develop and have to build all of their curriculum. And it's not necessarily something they're really adept at doing and working in that type of environment, coming from trades and different environments where they were hands-on and did that type of work. So first of all, who are we at Berks Career and Technology Center? We are a career center in Berks County, and we service 16 different school districts that supply us with their students, and they spend half a day with us and then go back to their regular school. We bus them in and out. They go back to their regular school to do their traditional academics. So we're a part-time CTC. We have 35 different vocational programs. So those different offerings that they come for, whether it is cosmetology, construction, IT and programming, medical, health, and nursing, all across 7 different career clusters. And so we focus on those things all related to what PDE has determined is needed in our local workforce. And those students then hopefully go on and find themselves a viable career. And it doesn't necessarily always require a post-secondary education. We have educated approximately 2,000 secondary students and over 500 adult students. So we also have an adult program. Some of those students participate during our daytime classes, but there's a lot of work that goes into the adult programs in the evening. So that's a little bit about our school and kind of who and where we service our students. And what we're here really to talk about today, though, is how are we looking at integrating AI into our system? This all started off a little while back, but before I get into that, I want to just talk a little bit about some of the misconceptions, challenges, and benefits of using AI. Obviously, we have and we understand some of these benefits. Those benefits being personalized learning, automation, enhanced decision making to try and expedite the work that's going on within that educational environment. But many of the challenges also come into play that are going to have to do with privacy, security, bias that is created in some of these AI tools, and so forth. So part of what we have to do professional development wise is also to train up our instructors and our staff to understand all the different things about making sure that they're not using personal identifiable information in any of these systems, because they're constantly learning and absorbing all of that information. So we had to set all that up into our plan in regards to what we were doing, as well as kind of dispelling some of those misconceptions. A lot of the instructors were kind of like first blush saying, wait, is this here to take my job? Is this going to replace us? And even from some of our staff, particularly those that are working with in the front office and things and so forth when it comes to repetitive data material, dealing with some of the different types of data entry and different record keeping and so forth. So there was a lot of worry that was in the staff as well. So we had to address all of those things. So as we get started into that, what I would like you all to do is, when it comes to these benefits, challenges, and misconceptions, I'd like to take a moment and maybe take 3 minutes and have you guys here at your table just quickly talk about what it is that your concerns are in regards to what's going to happen and how it's going to impact the life of your students using AI in your schools. And just giving you 3 minutes and then share out, and then I want to show some other things with you. So when applying this into the school setting and different ideas and so forth, and as I was talking about here a moment ago, this is going to be twofold. One is you all as a group came up with approximately 8 to 10 ideas. AI gave me about 12. Really 150. And I was actually getting that information in about 10 seconds by just typing that prompt in and it providing me all of these different ideas. And it didn't take a room full of people to go about creating that list. This is a fundamental trait of AI that's really powerful for everyone to be able to leverage and help it with idea generation and coming up with that kind of assistance in what it is that they have to think about to kickstart whatever they're working through. Would you be able to come up with 150 ideas? How long would that take you? And how many people would you have to interview and find them from? So that's an example. Just wanted to kind of do that interactive exercise for everyone to understand how that can impact, not beyond all the things, that 150 different ways that it can impact them, but then the simple act of using it to create the ideas.
Michael, did you analyze these for distinction?
There's
how different they are one from another, or if they're actually different?
From within that list? No, this is just a raw list.
Okay.
Raw list. So within the prompting, you can get more detailed with that. So you can say, I would like this to be exclusively this, or to be exclusively divergent from each other, or to include versus some of the things that you're dealing with in here in regards to like intelligences or different restrictions that you may need. And then the AI would be able to go through and sift through that and create those ideas. But our journey here from adopting AI really started in fall of 2022. And that's when the AI chatbots basically became prevalent and more consumer aware, even though AI has been really around for decades. The students that we're going to be getting next year in our high school are all going to be AI natives. They're part of Generation Alpha, all the students that were born 2010 and beyond to this point. They have not been in a world where they haven't had AI. They were toddlers walking around with iPads and talking to Siri and telling Alexa to change the TV channel and doing all sorts of different things. Their world has always had it in there. Now it's an adaptation for us to begin to realize that we're going to have to prepare the world to live around and amongst them as they move in to the workforce. So in the spring of 2023, did a professional development and introduced AI to everyone here in our school and what this is going to do and what kind of an impact it may have. It's just an initial let you know, but we still were not in a place where we were ready to really bring that on board. We then caucused together and talked about this with the administration over the summer and developed what our guidelines were going to be and how we were going to bring that to the school for all people that were involved in the school. That was for the students. That was also for the instructors and how they would use it, and also for the staff and how they might employ AI as a tool to help them with their efficiencies. So coming up with those guidelines, and there's the examples of those guidelines you'll find in the resources that I sent up there as well. I have a document to push over for that. But you will see that it's based upon privacy, it's based upon attribution and citation, and understanding the proper way to try and leverage and use AI to be transparent and use it properly. And that's part of the professional development and training then that we went into with the fall with our instructors. I did It was my job to go through and make sure everyone was leveled up. We took everyone into that professional development. This was not exclusive to only faculty. This was administration, faculty, staff, all participants in our system participated in those trainings so that they understood what AI was about, so that they could identify where they could leverage it in their capacities within the school. After that, then I provided ongoing trainings that were happening throughout the year during lunch times and different things on different tricks and tools that could be used to better enhance their experiences, and also getting feedback from others and what they were trying and what they were using and guiding them through that process. In the summer of 2024, this past summer, we then reflected on and created plans for how we were going to now start to use this with students. Because we didn't roll this out in the spring for students, that was the faculty and the staff and everyone else. We still weren't sure how we wanted to allow students to have access to this. And that is still evolving, and we're still developing curriculum and things for that. When we built those tools out, we started to give those and put those in the hands of the instructors. We then are looking to integrate, for us, AI into curriculum from the viewpoint of how is AI going to help them be better students? But because we're a career center, we also want to look at how is AI going to help prepare them for the workforce, and where and how are they going to interact with AI in their work environment after they have graduated and left our school system. So in addition to that, we also are going to, or have started already, we have something called an occupational advisory committee, and those are members of the industry who come in and help guide us with the curriculum and the things that we do inside of our schools. And we are starting the conversations with them and saying, how is AI impacting and happening to, what is happening to your particular industries, and how is this changing and shifting the things that are happening in your workforce, and how can we better prepare the students for that? Once we have all that information, what we're looking then to do is starting to bring in and apply all that curriculum for the students and build out that learning environment integration, as well as looking at now introducing this AI to help us to do and analyze our data to help us make decision making. Right now, what our problem is that our data is in so many different places and is not in a format that we can actually push into any of these systems to get information, because we're dealing with all the variety in education, all of these different systems and where they store and house all this information. So our largest challenge is actually bringing all that together under one umbrella to begin to talk to it and leverage this AI. So that's our first challenge, and then hopefully we'll be in a point in the spring where we're going to be able to start to do that.
What about your closed system vendors, the courseware companies?
What's that?
The courseware companies, you can't get in their data.
Well, not the one that we're using currently right now is they will give us an API, but it doesn't necessarily pull all the parts that we want, and the reports that they are generating are not entirely cohesive to contain all of the data that we need. So it's siloed. So it's only about this particular topic, or it's about this particular material. And then there's no interrelating piece that keeps them all together. So we need to get that to a point where there's some common data in their data point that's able to take all those output reports, tables, and databases to be able to bring them all together. And there are now a lot of products out there, educational software, that'll be able to do that. But we have not yet adopted or bought into one because we're still fighting with getting the data out of the system so we know what it looks like, so we know where we can go with it. We were talking a little bit earlier about these intelligences, and I'm going to just kind of flip through these. I approach this from a different perspective of what then was initially given to us. I'm looking at the human side of it, and then how does the AI all support that? So I'm kind of addressing that in these. So with linguistic intelligence, these are all the different types, and I'm not going to go through and read all these for you, but you can access these in that shared folder to take a look at how these different types of AI technologies can be used to help these specific intelligences. So with linguistics, you can go into speech recognition, knowledge engineering, and different things. You have your logical mathematical intelligences. And I'm just going to zip through these based on time. Your visual spatial intelligence, image analysis, robotics, things that are happening with that. Your kinesthetic learners and building things hands-on with the machines, the robots, and different things of that sort. Your musical intelligence, analysis of the music, rhythm, different things, some of the technologies that are available to be able to utilize that. Interpersonal, personalized learning feedback, emotional reactions, mindfulness to the work that they are doing and how they are addressing things. Naturalistic, existential intelligence. Oh, I went backwards. So one of the things about this that you want to think about with all these intelligences, and we kind of talked about this in the small groups, is that we shouldn't necessarily be concerned about just two different intelligences, the ones that are mainly focused on education right now. With AI and everything else, we can start to look at a variety and interrelate all of these different intelligences together. One of the reasons for that is because we want to look at the whole student and understand all of the student's needs and so forth. So the holistic development of that student is important, and we can leverage the AI to be able to do that, especially through all of those different 9 intelligences. The other part of it that is really good with AI is to help bring in the 21st century skills and address all of those with the students with AI. Engagement and motivation. AI really provides a great motivational and engagement tool for the students to work through there. Not only just from, oh, it's a glitzy gimmick thing with technology, but it allows them now to have conversations at a deeper level that they haven't had with any other technologies prior. Equity and inclusivity. Being able to bring in different viewpoints that you may not necessarily have in a specific rigorous curriculum that is made for a certain group of students. This can now be tailored and changed for any student based on just a couple of requests put into the AI system. And interdisciplinary learning and working within other disciplines and finding ways to be able to integrate subject matter from one subject to another and create project-based learning opportunities and different things where AI is able to go in there and see where those things are connected that may not be necessarily obvious to those who are using it. So one of the things that we have done, as I showed you in those slides, the one part that we were kind of going from this summer into this fall is identifying and creating tools that our instructors can use to help with their work in their school. One of them is an instructional strategy selector. So that instructional strategy selector allows you to go in there and talk to the AI by answering 3 questions. What is the topic of your specific lesson? How many students are going to participate in it? And then what is the, excuse me, I lost my train of thought for a second. The participant number, what it is for the topic, and then the specific type of modality, the learning modality that student is, much like the intelligence, and then it will go in and build and select out of a database of the different instructional strategies which instructional strategies best suit that class size and the intelligence group that you're looking to target, and gives you 3 to choose from. You select that one and it'll take that topic and build out the instruction set for implementing that instructional strategy. Another is a job interview simulator, and this is through voice control. It leverages ChatGPT's voice tool. It will go through and use the STAR interview method to inquire and run a interview for the student, 10 to 15 questions. And when it's done, when you do the voice part of ChatGPT, you can then click and share with another individual and send it to the teacher. This eliminates one teacher having to work with one student while the rest of the class is doing who knows what. They now can practice independently. So it's helping to tutor that student with one-on-one interaction during that interview. Curriculum building. We have a very specific curriculum format that we have to build things here in Pennsylvania for our CTC learning guides. This will template, and through 5 questions, what is the zip code for your program, the task number and name, the purpose of that particular task, what is the grade level of the student, and how much time do you have, how many hours do you have for the student to complete this work, and it will script out and build in your entire lesson or learning guide, infuse it with the academic, or note the academic standards and all the parts that are required for their standardized testing, the lesson activities, suggestions, safety concerns, and everything else, and builds everything in that exact template. So it's always the same every time it outputs it. This one's fun. This one is an in-class tool for our business management entrepreneurship class. Working with the instructors, we're able to create specific tools just for them. How many are familiar with the show Shark Tank? The AI is the shark. They pitch their plan to the AI, and the AI decides whether or not it wants to invest in their company based upon what it asked for. And this is what that looks like.
Steak in our here at Naturally Threaded.
Excuse me. The students come in, talk to it.
Hi, my name is Cody Morgan, Chief Operations Officer here at Naturally Threaded.
And it responds.
Hi, I'm Ian Griffith, Co-Chief Executive Officer here at Naturally Threaded.
Hi, I'm Joshua Ponce, Chief Marketing Officer at Naturally Threaded.
And we are seeking $1 million for a 34% stake in our business. Welcome to Naturally Threaded, a capsule-based clothing company that is focused on decreasing hazardous waste to save our environment one outfit at a time.
Hello, Cody, Ian, and Joshua. It's great to meet you all. I'm intrigued by Naturally Threaded's mission to reduce hazardous waste through fashion. To start, could you elaborate on what sets your waste cleaning approach apart from a natural material?
It'll go through and ask all those questions, interact with it, and then it will go and give its analysis and decide whether or not it wants to invest in their business.
Primarily social media. Innovative approach to marketing. Gradually integrate. Offer would be more conservative than your initial ask. My offer. Investment amount, $750,000. Equity stake, 34%. This offer reflects a mix of confidence in your business model and caution due to the early stage.
So just kind of give you an example or an idea of how the tool can be then developed as an instructional learning tool with the students themselves. So I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to share some of these things with you as to what we're doing and how we're doing it at our center. And again, please, you can get access to more of this information and look at some of these things because of time and everything else. I can spend all morning talking about all these. But take a look at those links and take a look at what these tools are. They are free to be shared. You can access all of those through those web links. No password.